What's going on, boys and girls? Oh, what a couple of days it's been. I'm not going to lie, I am still riding high after that North London derby. I think I've consumed every piece of content out there, just reveling in what was such an amazing match and such an enjoyable experience. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's nothing sweeter than beating Tottenham, but just everything about that match, from the tifo to the atmosphere in the crowd to the scoreline to the fact that it was Eze who got the hat trick, just everything about it was just perfection. So I've just been reveling in what was an amazing performance. But obviously this time of year, you don't get a lot of time to kind of sit on a match, because before you know it, there's another match around the corner, and that's the case this week. We've got Bayern Munich tomorrow in the Champions League at home. And look, I'm really torn on this one because this week is massive for us. We've obviously had Tottenham to kick things off, which we managed to get by comfortably. We've now got Bayern Munich at home in the Champions League, which, as I've said, for me, it's a fantastic match in the sense that this is an opportunity for us to test ourselves against arguably the best the best side in Europe right now, outside of us. I think Bayern Munich are in unbelievable form, and so it's kind of that classic showdown between two top European teams right now. But I just can't get my head away and my mind off the Chelsea game, particularly when you look at what Chelsea have just done against Barcelona in the Champions League. That was a very impressive win. I didn't watch the whole thing, so I'm not going to sit here and say that Chelsea were unbelievable, but it looked like they had the good measure of Barcelona. I know Barcelona had a player sent off, but I think it just shows that Chelsea are a team that when they put their mind to it and the players are on point, they are a very good team. And I think at home they are going to be a really difficult proposition. And for me right now, as much as I don't want to say one game is more important than the other, because I think when you're a top team, your mentality needs to be that every game is just as important. But I just think with the amount of injuries that we have right now, I would personally like to see us rotate a little bit for this Bayern Munich game. And it pains me to say it because I know that might jeopardize our ability to go into that match and really kind of lay down a marker. But I just think that Chelsea game is massive, because you look at the position we're in now in the Premier League. If we go ahead and lose to Chelsea and City win, Chelsea are 3 points behind us, City are back to 4 points behind us, and that whole kind of dynamic of having that nice lead, it just disappears in the space of 1 week. So look, I won't go into Chelsea too much now because I think that's another video down the road. Right now we have to set our focus on the next game, which is Bayern Munich at home. If I had to pick the squad based on what I know currently of who's back and who's not, I would keep Raya in goal. I think there's no reason why Raya can't play. Timber. Oh, he's just so good and he's so important to us. Like I would hate to think that Timber gets an injury this season, because I just think he is so instrumental. In my opinion, he's as important as a Gabriel to that back line. So I'm going to put Ben White in. I think Ben White deserves a match like this. I think he deserves an opportunity to kind of put himself into a match like this. So I'm going to trust Ben White to fill in at right back. On the left-hand side, I want to see Miles Lewis-Skelly get given a game. I think he also is deserving of a match like this, and I think Calafiori will be rested for Chelsea. And then I think in the centre of the park, I think he'll probably stick with Saliba and Nketiah so that they can kind of form a bit of a solidity together. I've heard comments online about resting Saliba on the basis that now that Gabriel's injured, the last thing we want to do is lose Saliba as well. And I think that's actually a really valid point. But I just think if we're going to, for example, change Timber and Calafiori, and then we're going to take Saliba out as well, you're essentially giving yourself a brand new back four against the lethal Bayern Munich side. And I think that is probably just asking for trouble potentially. But then again, I mean, our back line collective unit that we have put together is of such a high standard that maybe this is old mentality that I need to be shaking and saying, no, whatever player comes into that back line, they can do a job. And I think that is the case. Like, for example, if we went Ben White, Mosquera, Nkapie, Lewis Skelly, I wouldn't be sitting here shitting my pants. I'd be very comfortable with that as a backline. It's more just the fact that they haven't played with each other than it is their individual ability. So I think if I was picking the team, I would go Timber at right back, Lewis Skelly at left back, and I'd stick with Nkapie and Saliba in central defence. I would then put Norgard in. I think Zubimendi's played a lot of football. So I would probably look to put Norgard in the 6. I'd keep Declan Rice there because I just think we need his engine in the centre there. And I think ultimately he's that type of player whereby I know he can play 3 games in a row. And I don't think we'll see much of a drop-off. He's so fit. He's so on it at the moment. I think Declan Rice can manage these 3 games. And then once we get past these 3 games, maybe that's where we look to rest Declan Rice and give him a bit of a break. So I'm going Norgard, Declan Rice, and then Eze for me has to keep the 10 position. I think he'll have so much confidence flowing through him right now that it would seem silly to take him out of that after he's just scored a hat-trick in a North London derby. So I'd keep Eze in the 10, but I'd also like to see Odegaard get some minutes in the second half, given that it sounds like he's probably going to be on the bench for this one. Look, I said I wanted to rest some players. Will he start Madueke? Saka will want to play this game. I have no doubt that all of the players will want to play this game because that's what you play football, right? You play football to play in these big matches. So I have no doubt the likes of Timber, Saka, Zubimendi, they'll want to be playing in these games. I just think that Chelsea game is more important. And so I would love to kind of see us rest some of these star players of ours who have been playing week in, week out and let them just kind of freshen up for the Chelsea game. But is Madueke ready to start a match from the get-go? I don't think so. So I think he will play Saka. I think he will probably stick with Trossard on the left, and I think he'll probably put Merino up top. I think what might happen here is the mindset will be, let's go out with a relatively strong team, same team, bar maybe some tweaks to the defence where we've got more options. And then I think it will be a case of no matter what the result is, come that 65th minute, let's make some changes and give the likes of Saka, Rice, Merino the chance to come off and kind of save themselves 30 minutes in preparation for the Chelsea game. So that would be my mindset, is make some changes in the defence where you can because you've got more options. And from an attacking point of view, maybe start with the same kind of attacking unit that started the North London derby, but look to make some early changes so that they're not playing 75, 80, 90 minutes and so that they're a little bit fresher for the Chelsea game. So that would be my strategy if it was me. And so I'd be bringing on Odegaard, I'd be bringing on Madueke, I'd be giving Nwaneri a shot somewhere. Nwaneri might even be deserving of a start. Maybe put him on the right-hand side instead of Saka. Could be an option, or play him as a false 9 or something like that. But I would definitely like to see the likes of Saka, Rice, Trossard, if they're starting, to be coming off no later than the kind of 70th minute. So they're just not playing a full 90. I think it's going to be an incredibly tough game. I think Bayern Munich, the beauty of the German league is that, they don't really have any competition. There are no hard games for Bayern Munich. So I think they'll come into this match fully strengthed up, looking to make a statement and get a win over arguably the next best team in Europe or the other team in Europe that's causing as much kind of mayhem as what they are. And so I think they'll come into this game all guns blazing, wanting to put on a performance. And that does slightly worry me if we do look to make a couple of changes, that we might just be a little bit off it. But as I said, I think my mindset needs to start changing with this football club. I think we have reached a different level. I think we've reached a different mindset. And I think no matter what changes are made for the game tomorrow, I think I should be like what I'm sure the players and the management team are, which is we're going to win this game. We're going into this match to win it. It doesn't matter who's starting. There is no such thing as a starting 11. This is a squad. This is a team. And whether you're a starter or a finisher, like Arteta says, this is about winning this football game. All that matters is winning the next football match. So I'm going to sit here and say, if my head was talking, I'm probably thinking a draw, because I just think that one eye should be on the Chelsea game, which I know is probably wrong. But I'm going to go with my heart, with my gut, and I'm going to say we're going to find a way to pull off a 2-1 win against Bayern Munich. And I think if we can get a win against Bayern and either rotate or give some players a bit of a rest in preparation for Chelsea, then that will be the ideal scenario. So I'm going for a win. Let's carry the feel good into the Chelsea game, and let's get a good win against a big European heavyweight. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.